Hello. Hey,
Hi.
hi. Hey, hi, Vipa. Hi, everyone. Just give me 2 3 minutes. Right, I'm just starting it up. Just give me 2 3 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, here. So let's get started. Okay. Okay. Sorry, it's for today. We have just kept this for today only. Actually, yesterday it was my sister's marriage. So I actually came back from a marriage only at 3 a.m. So it was not possible for me to start the session at 5:30. So I thought let's keep it in the evening in that case.
Okay.
It would be a weekly celebration, right? The immediate next
Yeah.
day you came and taking class for us instead of
Sorry?
enjoying. No, it should be a weekly celebration since it's your sister's wedding. Immediate next day you are coming and taking class for us.
Yeah, so I thought, now I got free.
Okay.
So, over here also, the weather has also gone very bad over here, like in Delhi now over here. So it's
Okay.
very humid, very humid.
Mm-hmm.
And so my this air conditioner also stopped working. So I actually now the service guy has he came right now to get it repaired. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to sleep also today. So it's very humid over here, like very bad weather.
Yeah, from the news we came to know third wave is gonna hit in August in India as well as here. So we need to be very careful then.
It's not actually it's the monsoon time, but it hasn't rained. So
Okay.
generally, so because that the rain hasn't happened, so there are just some showers happened. Very little showers happened over here. So due to which the weather has gone very humid. And
Okay.
in fact, in the marriage also, we were like just feel very uncomfortable. Wearing all those suits and all in that weather, it
Yeah.
becomes very heavy.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard my parents were also telling me that it's very hot and humid in
For
Delhi.
the last,
Very
yeah,
hot and
last
humid.
2 3 days, it's like very bad.
Congratulations for your sister's wedding.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, pass our congratulations to from this batch to your sister and family.
So, okay, I'll just open up the. No, I think I didn't save that code that day for the code that we were writing. I think I'll just have to open up something. Just give me one minute. I'll just. Okay, so in the previous session, we were working on that case study, right? Like we were trying to understand uh, how we can actually uh, ex- uh, how we can use R in order to generate the insights from there, right? So a couple of things that we did. So I'll just also do a quick recap also of those things so that it, it will be a quick revision for all of you, and then we will start the things ahead from there. So what we did was basically there was we had loaded the data that we were using, right? So in that data set, there were some missing values that we saw. So we actually explored one function, one package that was Data Explorer, right? So with the Data Explorer, what we were doing was that uh, what we were doing was we were actually creating a complete report on that. There's a function that is create report. It tells us about what type of variables do we have, how many missing values do we have. So it creates a report for us, right? And then we were talking about the different uh, the functions that we were exploring on that, like how many columns, rows, all that we have. And then we had removed the missing, we calculated the missing values, that how many missing values do we have in each column. And then what we did was we had deleted those two columns where the count of the values was highest. That is where the things that we had done up till that day, right? And then we were exploring some of the variables, right? How the data distribution is across the age, right? Across the gender, right? So these were the things that we had done in the last session. If let me know if you know if there is something uh, you feel we didn't do. So we had started with the analysis of understanding how that glycate hemoglobin is across the different age groups, across the different body frames and all. So those were the things that we had been exploring, right? So yep, I think up till here we had done, right? I guess up till ggplot we had explored these charts. Correct me if I'm wrong.
We seen till bivariate analysis and we did some.
So by way classic we had started off.
Yeah. Yeah, Amit, I have pasted in chat. Till this we have seen in bivariate analysis.
Okay. Right. So I think up till here we had done the stuff, right? Or did we do some more analysis as well? So Deepa, you shared it up.
Yeah, till there we have done our bivariate.
So till body frame. Okay. This is up till where we had done this. Okay. So now what we'll do over here is I will show you some, so the idea of this case study is to explore the different functionalities also and how we actually generate the insights so that, the things make sense to us. Like, okay, where that, that research has to be applied, where, what are the basically the parameters that a company should take care of while launching their product. So we will be covering it up from both these perspectives over here. Now the next thing, like something that we're going to now explore over here is no, just one second, I'll just one. So now what we're doing is now what we will do is like these private analysis that we did. So now from there, what we will do is I will show you a quick way of how we can actually analyze all the variables one by one. Okay, like for example, if you see this data set that we have, so there are a lot of numerical variables, right? Like cholesterol, stabilized glucose, HDL, glycate hemoglobin, age, right, height, and all. So if I want to see that how the data is distributed across all the numerical variables that we have. So instead of creating the charts one by one, what we can do is we can create all the charts in one go as well, right? So what do I mean by one go over here is, see, what we do over here is, first of all, I create a data set. Now I'm creating a data set in which I am going to keep only the numeric variables. So I will create a separate data set for that, where I will say, okay, like if you see over here in this data set, the column number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Column number 7. Now this is a categorical column. Similarly, ninth column. This is also categorical column, right? If I come ahead, you will see this column is also categorical. So this is not numeric. And same way we have diagnosis and result. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to create a data set in which I will remove those variables which are non-numeric, right? So if I show you this data set now, the data set numeric, in this I have only kept numerical variables. Okay. So if I ask you all over here that if I have to do this numerical analysis, which type of chart should I create on this, which can actually give me a distribution, how the data is distributed across that variable. So which charts can I use for that?
Line chart.
Sorry?
Line chart.
Line chart is something we use for the purpose of time series analysis, right? Like now we have like this one column that I have. I would like to see that how the distribution of cholesterol is across the different, the patients. So maybe, I should go with either a box plot or a histogram. See, histogram tells us that, okay, most of the people have the cholesterol between this range, or most of the people have the cholesterol between this range to this range. So that can give us a better insight about that particular variable, right?
Yep.
Now, in order to make this charts on all the variables, so do you think I should be making a chart on this ID variable?
No.
Right, because ID is just a number, right? Because it won't give any insights to us. So what we are doing over here is I'm using a for loop now. So I'm going to use for loop. So I'm saying for I in 2 to 14, right? Because I have almost like 14 to 15 variables in this data set now, right? We have 15 variables. And in the 15th, also the last variable that we have, that is 0, 1. So the 0, 1, although it's numeric, but it will not be used as a numeric, right? It is more like a categorical variable only that we are having over here, right? Which is in the form of 0 and 1. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the variable starting from cholesterol, from this variable up till this variable, right? Time ppm. I want to make a box plot on each of the variables now. So how can I achieve that is, if I make a normal box plot chart, right? So if I make normal box plot chart, okay, so what I will have to do is I will just have to give the name of my variable on which I want to create this. Suppose I say dataset numeric dollar. Suppose I want to make it on cholesterol. Now this will give me a box plot on that particular variable only. Now in order to make all the charts in one go, so what we are doing is, instead of giving one by one, I am saying for I in 2 to 14 box plot, let's create a box plot for all the rows and column number. Now column number is something that will come, whatever column number, whatever will be the value of I now. When the first time the loop runs, the value of I will be 2. So the box plot will be created for the second variable, then the next time third variable, then fourth and fifth, up till 14 it will be done. Correct? And then I'm also defining the title in the code itself. The title will be whatever is the name of that variable. So that is how we are going to make multiple charts in one go. So you will see now, for each variable, the chart has been created. Yes, Deepa. So variable as in each field. Sure, I'll do that. So after this session, I will share this code, right?
Amit, can you just explain that line box plot of, because I got the data set, you are excluding the categorical data columns in that data set underscore numeric, and you are making a new data set holding only the numeric columns, right?
So we want to make the chart by picking one variable at a time, correct?
Yeah,
now,
this 103, I need an explanation, the code.
So what we're doing over here is,
Okay.
I am creating a box plot. Now, if you see, I have made a box plot by writing this, that data set dollar
column name. Yeah.
I can write the same thing like this also, box plot, data set numeric, all the rows and cholesterol was column number 2. That will also
Yeah.
give me the same thing.
Okay.
Correct? I get the same chart.
Every rows for this particular column. Okay.
So instead of giving that 2, because that will become hard coded, I am passing I over there. So when the first time the loop will run, the value of I will be 2.
Okay.
So I will get the same chart. Then next time the value of I will be 3. That will be the next variable. Then 4, then 5, then 6. So the variables will keep changing and the charts will also get, I'll keep getting the charts based on that.
Since
Making
you,
sense now?
yeah, got it. Every column number you are passing in this I, correct?
Correct. So every
Okay.
column number is
Since, yeah. Since you don't want that ID column, your loop starts from second iteration. I mean,
from the second.
column.
Yes, because I don't want that ID column, so we are starting it from the second column, second up till, and I also don't want the last column. So I have not kept it up till 15. I have kept it only up till 14.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, now I'm getting it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, got it.
So similarly, if you want to make a histogram, everything will be the same. Instead of using a box plot, you will write hist in that case. So that will get histograms for you.
Amit, is there
Right,
any
because
other way if I give this 2 colon 14, right? To get the rows and column numbers, we use the dim function, right?
for
Yeah, for getting the number of rows and columns, we use the dimensions, dim function.
we can use dim function. You can use number of rows, right? If you write n row,
Yeah.
so that will give you the number of rows that you have in that data set.
Okay.
Right? So that data, what is the data set numeric? And
Okay.
if you say n col, it will give you the number of column in that case.
Okay. Because if my data set includes more than 20, 30 columns for this for loop, right? Is there any other way I can give this 2 colon 14 like length of this thing, or is there any other way?
Sorry, can you come again?
No, if my data set includes more than 20, 30 columns, right? You gave from column number 2 till 14th column, excluding number 1 and 5. Is there any other way?
No, otherwise I would have done it this way also. I would have said, okay, let me update this data set numeric and let me remove the column number first also, 1 and 15 also. So I'll remove them. So I will only be left with 13 columns. Then I can start from 1 to 13. So
Okay.
that is another way.
Okay.
So now what we will do over here is we will now come and we will do some more analysis, right? Like which, so age group was something that we had already done, right? So this scatter plot on how the analysis was being done, this was also we had already done over there. So what we're going to do over here is we will now try to focus on some more, I would say like the analysis which are like more focused on the variables now. Suppose I want to understand which gender should I focus on now, right? Which gender is giving me, which gender is more prone to diabetes, right? So that way I will have an idea that should I be targeting on the males or should I be targeting on the females? So what I do over here is if I make a chart, so I have made a normal bar chart, right? A normal bar chart. I think this we did in the last session also. I'm not sure if we do it or not. Okay. So if you see right now over here, so between these analysis, right? So you have diabetes, non-diabetes, and pre-diabetic. So this is for male and this is for female. So what insights do we get from here?
Female are more prone to being diabetic.
How can we say that?
Because that green one is thicker than the black.
Non-diabetic. Blue indicates non-diabetic.
Okay. So, but if you say green, but if we see
non-diabetic, but green indicates the diabetic ones, right? So that's more thicker than females.
But don't you think that the males are or the females are also more in that scenario? So that
Yeah,
is where
number is also more for females.
Right. So this number is also more. So definitely I might not be able to give the correct insight over here. Now, in order to get the perfect insights, right, we are going to use a new package, which we call it as variable tree. Okay, which is very interesting package over here, which I'm going to explain right now. So, yeah, so people like this chart that you're asking, this jitter chart. So basically, jitter chart is something like you have your scatter plot. Okay, So like if you see right now, if I make a scatter plot right now, okay, if I make a scatter plot on the age and glycate hemoglobin, okay. So if I make this scatter plot over here on this, okay. So if you will take a look at this scatter plot right now, what it is telling me is that this chart we had created right away on that previous class as well, from where we were able to identify that the people in the age group of 35 to 70 are more prone to diabetes. Okay. But just take a look at this at this line only. Just take a look at this line. This line. Okay. Just focus for a moment on this line. See what happens in the scatter plot is, can I say that there can be lot of patients in my data set who will be of 40 years and all those people can have the same glycate hemoglobin? Can I say that?
Yeah, at the age of 40 years.
Correct?
Yeah.
So like if I talk about the hemoglobin level 4, right? There can be 10 patients that might who were of 40 years, and all the 10 patients they had the same glycate hemoglobin in their blood, that was 4.
Yeah.
Now what happens in the scatter plot is all those 4 points will be overlapping on one another, right?
Yeah, some points. Yeah.
They will be all overlapping on one another.
Yeah.
So you might not be able to understand that at that particular point, do I have one person or do I have more person?
Yeah,
Correct?
exact count. Yeah, we can't predict.
So what we do is we just we change that chart into jitter. What that jitter will do is it will spread that data. If suppose at the same point there are multiple values, so instead of overlapping them on one another, what is going to happen over here is we will actually get something where what will happen is the spread will come up over there. So let me tell you what do I mean by spread. If you take a look at this chart now, you will find that these lines, the data points are now not on one single line. You see it, there is a little spread that you can see left, right, the points have come up. You just compare it with the previous chart. So this was the previous chart. You see, so you will see actually over here, in this the lines are all the data points are in one single
On
line
single
only.
line. Yeah.
But over in the other chart, there is a little spread that is coming down. So this jitter chart gives you that spread in that case.
Yeah, not on one single line.
So across that particular point, if there are multiple values of the same value, it will show them little as a spread data set over there.
Okay, it's like spreading the values.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Right. So now what we have is we have one package that we have that we call it as variable tree. Okay, V tree. This stands for variable tree now. Now this variable tree is very interesting package. So first of all, you will have to install this package now. That is vtree. Okay, so I guess I already have this package with me. Let me just check. Yeah. Oh, I have to load it. I have to load it again. We will load the package. Okay, so the package is installed.
Amit, what you were saying about this V tree to get the exact insight or exact.
Sorry.
No, about this V tree, you were saying like what is the use of this package to get
So
the.
this actually gives you the output in the form of a tree-like structure in the form of percentages.
Okay.
Like a tree structure, you will be able to see the numbers in the form of percentages. I'll just show you that. It's very simple, nothing. I mean, it's like it will show you that, okay, you have 400 patients, 65% are male, 45% are female. So it shows you the output in that way.
Okay.
Why is it so much time? You didn't even that much time. Okay, so let me just put it into the library now. See, how we use this package is, I simply say vtree, variable tree, the name of the data set, that is data set that we are using. I just have to give my variable name. Suppose my variable name is the gender that I want to use. I will just write gender over here, right? See, now the output that you see, it is telling me that there are total 403 values. And if I talk about gender right now, so 58% of them are female and 42% are male. Now this is how this output comes up. Right? If I come over here and I say variable tree data set, and over here I say I want to make it for gender as well as diagnosis. If you will now see the chart, it gives you two level of breakup. It is saying 403, out of which 234 are female and these are male. And in that female also, we can see that 16% are diabetic, 9% are pre-diabetic, and 73% are non-diabetic. And if you talk about males, all of the males, 18% males are diabetic, 10% are pre-diabetic, and 67% are non-diabetic. So what is the insight that I get from here? So can I say from here that the males are more prone to diabetes?
These are not diabetic. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So we can simply say that the males, because I can see that males, non-diabetic females are more, 73%, and males are 67%. So I can say that the males are more prone to diabetes as compared to the females. Similarly, what we can do is, I could have used vtree data set. Let's use the body frame, right? If I make it for the body frame, it is now telling me that 26% of the people are having large body frames, 49% are having medium body frames, and 26% are having small body frames. Now, if I come over here and I say variable tree that we are creating, I give the data set and I give the data as frame space diagnosis. You will see over here now that when the large body frames, 55% are non-diabetic, medium 72% are non-diabetic, and small 83. So I can typically say the people with more bigger body frames, they are more diabetic. So right, male people with big body frames are the potential customers that we can target for.
this tree structure, right? For every field, it will give count and its percentage.
Percentage, yes. It will keep splitting it up. If you add more variables also, right? Suppose you say frame,
And male, the gender,
location. Huh?
gender as the second variable.
You can do that. So if you want to put frame and then you put the gender also over here and diagnosis also over here. So it will now create for 3 variables now. So now it says large body frames. So 41% females are having that. I mean, all the people that are having large body frames, out of that, 41% are females and rest 58 and 59% are males, right? That is what we can see. Out of the females, what we see is that the females which are having large body frames, we can see that 50% are non-diabetic. And when it comes to males, it is 59% which are non-diabetic. So we can see that females with larger body frames, they are more diabetic, right? So this is something that we can see from here.
So this can be used to give some quick insights about our data
This can be used for
online. First, getting some quick insights about the data.
correct.
Yeah.
Quick insights in the form of percentage. You can find it.
Yeah, and the count. Yeah.
Right.
And one
you
more
can see the
question.
you
Sorry.
can see the variable names over here.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Amit, what is the bracket which is colorless?
What is the bracket? Which one?
If you zoom in, there's a colorless bracket which doesn't have a title. Or at the top, 2, 2, 3, like that.
This is actually, there are some blank values. Remember that we had some blank values. So actually there were some null values. So that it is coming as the NA,
Okay.
where the values are missing.
So if we give this report to client, we can mention that as or nulls.
If you share this with the client,
No, that 2% you said nulls, right? Can we mention like others, or do we need to from this data?
so you can replace the missing values if you want, right?
Mhm.
What you can do is, if you see over here right now, like in the data set, these were the missing values. Like for example, if you would have seen, so you will find some NAs coming up, right? This is a missing value. So
Yeah.
either what I can do is I go column by column, I find and I replace these values with the mean of this, the average of this column. I can do that, or what I can do is I can also remove these rows if these rows are very less. If there are only 10, 20 such rows, I can remove them.
Okay.
So this way we can get rid of that.
Amit, how can we find the number of rows having this NA in BP1 or BP1?
So we did that. So in that code we did that. So like the cleansing of the data that we did on that day in the last section over there, we discussed that
NA, you
how
mean?
many missing values you have in each column. So there is a function that we use is.na, which tells us whether a value is missing or not. So we go row by row and check if any value is missing. So it will give the output in the form of true and false. Then we find, so if the value is missing, it will give you true, otherwise false. So then what we do is true is like 1 and false is like 0. So we sum that up. So that way we were able to figure it out that how many missing values we have in each column.
Okay.
Amit, in this B tree, right, if the field name includes space,
We
how
can
we give
generally
that?
we don't have that, but
Mhm.
if you have that, so you will have to use this back quotes.
Okay.
Okay, so now if I come over here, right, so basically after doing these insights, so we can say, right, that the location is something that we didn't do the analysis on, right? So if I come over here, if I create a variable tree on the location also, so I have a data set and let's do it on the location as well. So we can see 50%, so it's all 50%. So let's do location and diagnosis. So from here I can see that diabetic people are more in Buckingham, right? So I can see 66% are non-diabetic here, 75% are non-diabetic here. So people are more diabetic in Buckingham, right? So I can say that if the company wants to start the launch of the product, they should start their launch in Buckingham. They should target on the males, and they should also target the people with the larger body frames in order to capture that market, right? So we can write that final pointers over here, right? The Blumet company must start its operations in Buckingham, and we can say they should target the males, and secondly uh, they should target the people with bigger body frame. I think this is what the target should be. And yep, so this is what we had right in the case study, where we had to do some insights, do the analysis, create a chart, data cleansing. So this is how you actually work and do the EDA of the data, right? Exploratory data analysis. Now EDA is something which is totally dependent upon the user, right? You can generate as many insights as you think. It's not mandatory, right? Like what I have done, this is the only possibilities. You can come up with more insights as well, which can actually help the company for a proper launch of their product. So they know that, which customers to target, so that they can start generating the revenues and profits with the detailed analysis that we have done over there. Okay. Any questions anyone will have?
Yeah, I was asking about the SQL data in R. You'll be showing in further sessions or?
Okay, SQL, see, if you have to load the data from SQL, so what we do is you will have to install a package that is RODBC. Okay, so RODBC. Now, ODBC stands for Online Data Connections. So basically, if you have to make the connection with any of the databases, so there are a lot of packages that are available, right? Like for example, if you want to make the connection with MySQL, so in that case, we have a package by the name of RMySQL. This package has to be installed. If you want to make a connection with Oracle, you will have to install ROracle. Okay, now if you want to make the connection with SQL Server, right now, like SQL Server is something we all have because we went for the training as well of this. So if you want to, get the data from SQL Server, you will have to install a package that is RODBC. Install.packages RODBC. Okay, so I already have this package with me. So I will simply put it in the library. So I will say library RODBC. Okay. So how we get the data from the database is, your first step over here will be, your step one will be create the connection, create the ODBC connection. Now this ODBC connection that we are talking over here, this has nothing to do with R or SQL. I mean, it has to do with SQL Server. What you have to do for that is, you will have to come on your Windows icon. If you will click over here, in this you will find the option, you will have to type ODBC. Now this option will come pre-default. All of you would be getting this option. Okay, you have to click on this ODBC data source and you will have to add a new connection. So, and how do we do that? You will have to click on add. So I will click on add now. And then it is asking with which data source do you want to create a connection. So if you will scroll down, you will find SQL Server native client. If you all try to recall, this is the same thing that we saw when we were doing that import and export from the Excel files or CSV files. So I will choose this. Okay, it will ask me what is the name you want to give to this connection. Right? It's very simple process. Right? It's very simple. I will have to give the name. Suppose I want to give it as Intuit's SQL. Okay, this is just a normal name. You can give any name that you want, right? Description, if you want to write anything, you can write anything over here. You have to give the name of the server. With which server do you want to connect? So my server was ./SQL Express. Remember, this is something that we used to put over there when we connect to our SSMS.
Yeah, laptop ID, right?
The laptop name and /SQL Express. This is what we used to put up over there. So this thing. So I have only put up the same thing over there. If you click on connect, so there are some databases that we have on this. So I have put up the same thing in this. Click on next. And how do you want to authenticate that the person is the authorized person? So I will simply say that Windows authentication. Next. Now with which database do you want to make a connection? I want to make a connection with, we have a banking database. Suppose I am saying that I want to load the data from a banking database now. So I will simply click on next, finish. Test it, the connection, it's done. So your connection is ready. Okay, so just simple step, right? Just over here. Then you come to your R. You will have to create a connection. I will say connection is ODBC connect and give the name of that connection. That was Intuit's SQL. Connection is ready. Okay. You can fetch the data in two ways. One is load complete table from the DB. Second, you can write a query to fetch the data. Okay. Suppose, if I go back over here in this, so I have a table of customers. So what I will do is I'm saying I want to create a data set, data one or data equal to, I will say write SQL fetch. So we have one function SQL fetch. In this SQL fetch, you will say this is my connection that we have created and name of the table. Name of the table was customers. So if you run this, data is loaded, right? Customer ID, name, surname, gender, age. This is the same UK Bank customer data. UK Bank customer data has been loaded over here. As simple as that. You just have to give the name of the connection and the name of the table. Right?
Yeah, the connection is the one which you gave while connecting the data source, right? In SQL Server into its SQL.
That was the same part. So if you see this name that I gave, if I click on ODBC over here, so this was the name that I gave, Intuit's SQL. So the same name I have put it up over here.
Okay.
If you want to write a query, suppose you say data one, you can simply say SQL query now. SQL query. Give the name of the connection, and now you can write any query. Suppose I say select star from customers where balance is more than 5,000. So we can run this and the data will be fetched based on that, based on the query that you have written. So everywhere the balance will be more than 5,000 now. So you can see this, these many records or observations have been extracted. So you can use any one of the things, either a complete table or you can write your query.
Only these two are important. Fetching is to connect to the table, and query is querying the database from the SQL in R.
Correct, correct.
Okay.
Right?
This R session is gonna end by this week, or we have still more?
No, I mean I am so not this week. This today only, sir. This like this is we are planning. So for the cases that I wanted to do.
So going forward, like, what would we be doing in the classes?
So I think now what I'm planning is, I'll also come up on this. So I think for you guys like March batch, I mean, so I think your now Tableau everything is done, right? Is a section of the Python is left over now, right? That we have to do. And for the May batch, we have the Python and the Tableau that is left over. So the two things are there, Tableau and Python. So for you guys, I think it will take a week's time to cover up the leftover topics of Python. We will close with that. And for the May batch, I think we will take at least a week will be required, week to 10 days will be required for Tableau, and then at least 10-15 classes for Python.
So you'll be updating us on the timing of the class going forward. We'll go into our original batches, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
If you
Will
want,
we
if you
have
want to do,
class today?
if you want to do, if you want to do the Python again, right? So we can completely merge it again. But if you feel you guys are already comfortable with that Python, so we can just cover up the leftovers.
Okay. Then today is the last for R. Then.
Yes, yes. I mean, if you have anything to discuss, we can do that.
Okay, because we thought it would take at least a month to cover this R, because you were saying that, right, for our batch.
See, actually, no. Previously, there was a plan that we would be keeping that machine learning, the regression and modeling as well. So I think that was then it was informed that that won't be a part of this curriculum. So that is why, so that part was shortened out. Otherwise, if we would go into the statistics and all, so statistics itself, that will take 10-15 days to understand statistics, then understand the models and all. So that part is something that is right not being covered up.
Okay, till this it is more than enough for us about R for the data science.
So this gives you the complete the basics are there, right? So you can actually guys, just give me 1 second. I just want 1 second. Hello. Sorry, last one or two things. So yeah, so we were discussing on this the batch, right? Yeah. Uh, so we will keep that session, right? So we will have that session for that, the evening one. So we'll keep that up. And let me also just check it once with Pawan as well, and I'll also just update you within half an hour on the group itself. Right? I'll also just check that up once again, and I'll if there will be any changes or something like that, I'll update you.
Oh, for us, you're talking the May batch.
Yes, yes.
Are we going to take Tableau for us or next?
So I think we'll take the Tableau first. So
Yeah.
there were 2 or 3 other participants, otherwise what will happen is the two codings now you will all get
Yes.
confused between that.
Yeah.
So that is why I think we'll start with the Tableau.
Okay. And I have one question. Can I share my screen?
Yes, please. Just once.
No, it is not allowing me to share.
Yeah, now you can share it.
Yeah, in the summit, you asked us to explore the geom underscore text. So I was just doing some exercise on that. And here, right, I'm just trying to give my title, but this is not working in GG
You
because
will have to use you will have to use GG title. Remove this main,
okay.
complete main. Complete. Just copy this line. Just cut it or maybe Control X.
Okay.
Okay. Now after this, right where you're done geom text, this angle equals to
Yeah.
25.
Okay. Okay, here.
In the last line 97, outside the bracket
Mhm.
plus, no, in the line 97 only, 97 only, plus, right, GG title,
Okay.
right. Now just Control V, remove that equal to sign. Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting it now. Yeah, I'm getting it. Yeah, and we were planning for the question and answer session exclusively for the doubts we have from.
Yeah, that also we have to plan it, right. So
Yeah.
maybe let me also discuss on that. So we will have the doubt session for Power BI, SQL, and Excel, right?
Yeah.
So let's plan that as well. So just give me half an hour. I'll just share that complete plan.
Yeah,
So
sure. Meanwhile, we can consolidate our doubts, and if we plan to have one session for that, we can. Meanwhile, we need to consolidate our doubts, right? Maybe in a WordPad or.
and in the meantime, I'll also share some base also with you. GG plot exercises. Give me a second.
Okay.
Just one second. I'm just sharing it up. I've shared a project. In this there is a file also, and there is a complete questionnaire that is given to you. So please try to work on this project. Right, this is related to the data visualizations only.
Amit, did you share in the chat window?
Yes, yes.
But I can't see the anything.
There would be a file that you would have received to everyone in .zip
No,
database.
no,
Can
actually
you
I
all
can't
see?
see.
Radhika, Deepa, are you able to see this file that I've shared?
Yeah,
I got it.
able to see and download. Scroll it down and check.
I did actually. I'm doing that, but it's not coming.
You are logged in from the phone or the laptop?
Laptop only.
Strange. It should
Data
come.
visualization project, right? Yeah.
So, Shweta, you are in the group May 1, right? The May batch.
Yeah, yeah.
This case study, our code has today's code as well.
Sorry.
This
I have
case
sent
study, R
it
has
again. Can you check
today's
now?
also. I was saying this case study R has today's code as well.
That I've shared it.
Today's
Complete.
as well. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That
But-
case is the complete code.
Amit, whatever you are sharing in the chat window, I can't see that.
I have shared
everyone-
it again. Can you check, Shweta? I did it.
No, its last message is just okay, Lakshmi. I can see that only.
Minimize and I don't know what to say here. I did it again.
Yeah,
And here
I've-
also I feel like I didn't able to see the whatever Amit is sharing in the chat window.
I mean, you're not able to see any text.
I am able to see the hi everyone and the what Deepa had shared the earlier that analysis thing, and do you have session today evening also? Then okay, that's it. After that, I can't see anything.
No, she can't able to see the attachments, Amit.
Yeah, I can't able to see the
Yeah,
attachments.
any attachment.
I've shared in the WhatsApp group also. You can take it from there.
Okay, sure.
Or Shweta, I'll mail you.
Okay.
Okay.
But what's the solution for this? Okay. Do I need to? I have to download something for the Zoom chat? Something?
No, it comes automatically. I mean, I have not downloaded anything. So maybe I think I'll check this with Pawan. Like there are some settings that are supposed to be done.
Okay. Okay.
Amit, you will be texting us in group, right, regarding the
That
session?
I will be testing. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, then. Thank you. Thank you for the session.
Thank you, Amit.
Amit.
Thank you.
Bye all. Bye.